We are going to give you a reading, and then I'm going to give you a statement of our present state outside of hypocrisy of our government. And I'm going to give you a name, a nomenclature, a nomen. This is a blackness or darkness seance reading. And we're going to do the Ouija board is right here. I'm going to use the internet and the mental clairvoyant streamscape, the World Wide Web, the astral plane. I'm going to use the thought life of the whole multiverse as the Ouija board. How's that sound? We're going to do a seance about Donald Trump. Yay! Here you go. Here we go. The history of the present King of Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted for a candid world. But here's the problem. I'm going to replace, this is a Vormir. It is an everlasting exchange. It demands a sacrifice and it exacts a terrible price, a soul for a soul. So I'm going to exchange the soul of the present King of Great Britain back in the day for the soul of Donald Trump, our now former president. And I'm going to describe these words: CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus, descriptive of Donald Trump, okay? So as a precursor, we are the BORG, I am Locutus. Resistance is futile, you will be assimilated. So Donald Trump, this describes you. You can all listen. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for public good. Be a witness. This describes Donald Trump once again. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. Once again, this is the story of Donald Trump's life, not just his presidency, okay? He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. Once again, this describes Donald Trump expressly, as the Bible would say, in explicit stated terms. The Spirit speaketh expressly that some shall depart from the faith. And this describes Donald Trump, CRUX, RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS, Locutus. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, RHETOS, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage the migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, RHETOS, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. Once again, Donald Trump describes CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount of payment of their salaries. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislature. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, RHETOS, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, Logos, Crucifixus, Locutus. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to the acts of pretended legislation. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX, RHETOS, Crucifixus, Locutus. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for imposing taxes on us without our consent. Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury. Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies. Once again, this is Dreamscape Clairvoyance, CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, describing Donald Trump, his whole life, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments. Once again, this is Donald Trump described through and by Dreamscape Clairvoyance, CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. Once again, Donald Trump describes CRUX RHETOS, CRUCIFIXUS locutus. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. Once again, Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. Once again, Donald Trump, this is you described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. Once again, this describes his presidency, this describes his life. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. Once again, Donald Trump described CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has, of course, and it was done in January. Okay, you can't debate that. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and they were in the Capitol building, so you can't argue with that. Endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. And that's not Native Americans, that is real Indians who want to worship him as God, and we've seen that. So y'all's the Indian sandwiches, not Mohawks and Cherokees, not Native Americans, so don't get it twisted, okay? So this is a CRUX logos, CRUCIFIXUS locutus description of Donald Trump, Dreamscape Clairvoyance, okay? This is what to read from female intuition. This is the instincts of the human would tell you, let alone a Bible, okay? So I can declare right now, as judge, jury, executioner, as y'all have played him, as he does us, I'm going to do to you. I'm going to play judge, jury, and executioner over you, Donald Trump, as you've done to us, and I'm going to declare you as equally guilty as fuck and fucking guilty. I shit you not. And everything else is bullshit. I swear to fuck to God. I am Locutus. We are the BORG. We will all be assimilated. Resistance is futile.